Caitlin Clark's preseason debut drew 1.3 million viewers. This news will probably leave Angel Reese's mom in shambles.
Caitlin Clark's recent TV viewership numbers are unprecedented, causing a stir across the sports world. NHL executives are reportedly concerned, NBA preseason planners are re-evaluating, and the WNBA's established figures are scrambling to adapt. This surge in popularity has the basketball world in a frenzy, and not everyone is happy about it. The intense reaction even extends to Angel Reese's mother, who has reportedly expressed strong opinions.
She's upset. She made a couple of comments a couple of days ago about people literally covering statistical data involving attendance. That's a problem. That's hate.
Tickets for this game actually sold out within the hour, and people were lining up for over 3 hours before the game just to get into this arena.
Caitlin Clark's preseason debut didn't just attract attention, it completely dominated the national spotlight. In this video, we're breaking down how Clark fundamentally transformed perceptions of women's basketball, why the Reese camp is in turmoil, and what this all signals for the sport's future. What's unfolding now isn't just historic, it's also entertaining and highly revealing.
Other WNBA teams are going to have to think of another solution for Caitlin Clark because they're not going to be able to guard her the way that they did during her rookie season.
We're discussing 1.3 million viewers for a WNBA preseason game. Yes, you read that correctly, preseason. She didn't just surpass last year's WNBA Finals opener, she completely overshadowed it. And she also effortlessly drew more viewers than NHL playoff games and NBA preseason matchups. That isn't merely a rise in ratings, it's a ratings explosion.
This was a preseason WNBA game. It is unbelievable what it is Caitlin Clark does.
If you support Caitlin Clark, subscribe our channel and comment "CC is the GOAT" down below. And this wasn't just some low-key exhibition game. It was a completely sold-out, electric atmosphere. Carver Hawkeye Arena was filled to capacity, roaring with the energy of a Final Four game. You know, the same arena where she consistently made college basketball history. And now she's returned, but this time as the leading figure of a professional team.
So there were 14,998 people in attendance for this game. Average reported ticket price was $650. That is almost $9.75 million just for a WNBA preseason game. This team is going to break so many records this year: attendance, viewership, merch sales, all of the things.
While Clark was dominating on ESPN and generating the kind of crowd excitement that sends shivers down your spine, someone else was clearly unhappy. In fact, someone was furious. Enter Angel Reese's mom, equipped with her phone, a grievance, and a new series of accusations. Because, it seems, whenever Caitlin performs exceptionally well, someone in the Reese family feels compelled to go online and express their displeasure.
It's hate when you point out that the Sky game drew 6,373 fans at the college where Angel Reese won the national championship.
While millions of fans were celebrating a significant milestone for women's basketball, Angel Reese's mom was occupied crafting an inflammatory message directed squarely at Caitlin and her fans. Subtlety is clearly not her strong point. The post was filled with charged language, assigning blame, and just enough passive-aggressive behavior to impress a reality TV producer. Why all the negativity? It's straightforward, the evidence is undeniable. Caitlin Clark is attracting viewership numbers the WNBA has never experienced, and this stark difference is clearly uncomfortable for her detractors.
This game beat NHL playoff ratings. A WNBA game, a preseason WNBA game, not only beat those ratings, destroyed them. More watched than any NBA preseason game since 2018, all but 2 NBA preseason games since 2010.
Caitlin Clark didn't just show up, she exploded onto the sports media scene. Her preseason debut wasn't just a game, it was a significant event, a cultural transformation embodied in a jump shot, a television spectacle with more impact than many playoff games. That 1.3 million viewership figure isn't just impressive for the WNBA, it's unprecedented. She attracted numbers that some leagues only dream of achieving during their regular seasons, and she did it with grace, a signature step-back three-pointer, and absolutely no controversy.
People were so excited for this game for many reasons, but the main one being that Caitlin Clark would be returning to Iowa to play at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
And let's discuss the atmosphere at Carver Hawkeye Arena. It wasn't just full, it was absolutely buzzing with energy. There were 15,000 fans packed in, standing room only, with young girls wearing number 22 jerseys and dedicated basketball fans holding signs that read, "I drove 300 miles for Caitlin." This wasn't just a practice game.
The Brazilian national team, even though they lost by that much, it still seemed like they had a great time. Caitlin was signing their jerseys after the game. They were taking photos with her.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
With the average ticket price hitting $670. That's not just a record, it's something we've never seen before. Despite that, the crowd still arrived, paid the high prices, and created an incredible atmosphere. Some resale tickets even went for over $6,000 for a preseason game. That's the Clarkonomics effect, and it's just the beginning.
The biggest thing about this team, other WNBA teams are not going to be able to guard Caitlin Clark in the same way that they did during her rookie season because you have so many assets on the court now. You are not going to be able to trap Caitlin Clark because there are so many other threats on the floor.
And what did Caitlin do amidst all that pressure, noise, and scrutiny? Oh, just something extraordinary. She scored 21 points, including a deep three from Steph Curry's range in the opening minutes. She commanded the court like a maestro with a baton, energizing her teammates and proving why she's more than just a player, she's a walking revolution.
She hits her signature logo three from 36 feet, actually behind her signature logo that was on the court.
But this isn't just about the points on the board. Caitlin Clark is fundamentally changing the WNBA. She's converting casual viewers into passionate fans, skeptics into supporters, and television networks into major investors. She's not simply playing, she's transforming how the game is watched, marketed, and celebrated. Merchandise is selling out, tickets are impossible to find, and social media is buzzing. ESPN, CBS, and ABC are all paying close attention now, because Caitlin Clark has made women's basketball essential viewing. However, not everyone is celebrating.
The highest rated NHL game was roughly 430,000 viewers behind only 2 NBA preseason games in the last 15 years had bigger ratings in this game. It outdrew game 1 of the 2024 WNBA Finals. Oh, get mad. Get angry.
While most of the basketball world was in disbelief, Angel Reese's mother opted to release a social media statement that can only be described as a combination of petty and attention-seeking behavior. She didn't mention names directly, but there was no need. Anyone with internet access understood exactly who she was targeting: Caitlin Clark.
You got Angel Reese's mom. She put this out in the public space. Oh, that certain fan base looking in the stands, celebrating quote attendance, while others are looking up in the rafters celebrating championship banners. We ain't the same. Different years, same haters. Have a great day.
She claimed that Caitlin's success is more about privilege than skill, that the hype is created by the media, and that her daughter was criticized while Clark was praised for similar actions. You know, that familiar tune again.
1.3 million viewers on the TV rating for Caitlin Clark's preseason debut against Brazil in a blowout. Sold out in front of 15,000 fans at $670 a ticket. She is the needle.
Caitlin Clark returned to Iowa yesterday. It looked like the entire state of Iowa shut down. This is what the drawing power of a real star looks like.
Let's be honest, we've heard this story before. Since the LSU-Iowa NCAA showdown, complete with the iconic "you can't see me" antics, Reese's camp has been upset about how Clark is praised while Angel is cast as the villain. Now, with Caitlin breaking records and entering the WNBA as if she owns the court, the frustration is boiling over. Reese fans cry foul, Clark supporters push back, but one thing remains clear: Caitlin Clark earned everything she has. Decades of dedication, a highlight reel for the ages, and stats that speak for themselves. This isn't about the media handing her a crown, it's about her seizing it with both hands, refusing to let go, thanks to her talent, poise, and undeniable class.
She made a homecoming, and the arena was less than half full. 13,215 available seats. They didn't even sell half of those. One is moving the needle. The other one is not even fluttering it. Instagram followers do not translate into viewership on television during actual basketball games.
But oh no, Reese's mom wasn't finished. A single spicy post wasn't sufficient. She escalated into full PR meltdown mode, actively liking, reposting, and co-signing every inflammatory opinion piece that leveled accusations of racial bias against Caitlin Clark's fanbase, or even suggested they were part of a vast media conspiracy orchestrated to elevate Clark at the expense of everyone else. If a tweet even subtly implied that Caitlin's supporters were engaged in clandestine scheming within a smoke-filled ESPN boardroom, you can be certain she enthusiastically tapped the heart button. Even as journalists and analysts made genuine efforts to redirect the conversation back to the actual game of basketball, the entire discourse was completely hijacked. What should have been a moment of unity, a clear win for the entire sport, was instead transformed into a contentious battleground defined by identity politics and social media finger-pointing. Tribalism utterly took over. Reese's defenders became entrenched, Clark's defenders fiercely retaliated, and amidst this conflict, a burgeoning basketball revolution was silently and significantly overshadowed.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlin?
And she's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura.
And let's not forget the one person completely abstaining from this circus, Caitlin Clark. While everyone else was composing lengthy Twitter threads and engaging in the blame game, Clark remained intensely focused on the only thing that truly mattered, her game. No subtle tweets, no carefully crafted press statements, just pure buckets. While Reese's camp was airing their grievances, Clark was dissecting defenders and effortlessly selling out arenas as if it were just another part of her routine. And you know what? That silence from her is proving to be more impactful and resonate louder than any online rant could ever hope to be.
The state of Iowa experienced something yesterday that they have never experienced before. Traffic. Crowds. Thousands and thousands of people were standing outside of the arena hours before the game even started.
Still, the resentment emanating from Team Reese is incredibly revealing. At its core, it exposes an uncomfortable truth about the current moment we find ourselves in. Clark's sheer dominance is so undeniable that it is actively creating fault lines and divisions across the entire league. This has transcended being solely about basketball. It's now fundamentally about power dynamics, pride, and ultimately, who gets to control the defining narrative of women's sports as we move forward. Because when Caitlin Clark shatters viewership records and essentially becomes the face of a league overnight, it doesn't just challenge the traditional way the game is played, it directly challenges the established gatekeepers. The critical question is no longer just about how incredibly skilled Caitlin Clark is, but rather, who holds the authority and influence to define what constitutes greatness in this rapidly evolving new era.
Angel Reese loves the attention. She is extremely popular on social media. When she posts provocative pictures, thousands of lonely dudes give her the validation that she so desperately desires.
We're not just discussing a simple, one-sided disagreement here. We are witnessing a full-blown, intense tug-of-war over the fundamental future direction of women's basketball. For many years, the WNBA has fought tirelessly for increased relevance, constantly pushing for better salaries, greater media exposure, and larger attendance figures. And to be completely fair, those improvements and strides were incredibly hard-earned. The veteran players have relentlessly grinded through years of media indifference, endured travel nightmares, and played for paychecks that would honestly make a college intern scoff.
I didn't plan to shoot that logo 3. I know coming into the game, everybody wanted me to shoot one from there. But Steph was like, was supposed to come out at the end of the third, so she's like, give a foul, give a foul, give a foul. And then it was 30 seconds on the clock, which like between 30 to 33, that's like your 2-for-1 range where you have to get one up. So I saw 30 as we're inbounding the ball, which probably is inbounding the ball at 30, probably a little low, but I was like, why not?
Then, seemingly out of nowhere, Caitlin Clark arrives, and suddenly the league is the hottest topic, trending online every single day. Television networks are now aggressively bidding for broadcast rights as if it were the Super Bowl. and average ticket prices have quadrupled in venues that previously struggled to sell out. This is precisely the kind of surge and attention the league has been desperately dreaming about for years. And yet, this newfound success is undeniably accompanied by significant friction. Because for players like Angel Reese and their supporters, who have been loyal and dedicated through all the lean, difficult years, it genuinely feels like someone just completely skipped ahead of them in line. They have been grinding tirelessly for years, fighting for recognition and respect, and now here comes Caitlyn, seemingly receiving it all in abundance and with ease. And that, understandably, stings.
Angel Reese is also influential in hip-hop culture. She has made cameos and music videos. The popularity of Angel Reese, it is an illusion. Caitlyn Clark has managed to break through the niche culture of celebrity to become a mainstream draw. You can make the case that Caitlyn Clark is the biggest draw right now in sport.
That's precisely why the posts from Angel Reese's mom resonated so deeply and hit harder than a simple social media disagreement. It's not solely about Caitlyn Clark herself, it's fundamentally about the underlying anxiety and feeling that the entire center of gravity for the game has abruptly and rapidly shifted. But here's the crucial point that seems to be getting missed in the conversation: this isn't a zero-sum game where one person's gain is another's loss. Caitlyn Clark isn't taking anything away from the league, she is bringing more to it. Her impact isn't about subtraction, it's about multiplication. Yes, the primary spotlight is undeniably focused on her right now, but the ripple effects of that attention are ultimately benefiting everyone involved, leading to more eyes on the game, more money flowing into the league, and ultimately, more opportunities for all the players.
How embarrassing! Now, you're not going to hear this from the mainstream media, who continues to pretend that the Bayou Barbie is beloved. You're not going to hear this from the media, who continues to pretend that Angel Reese is a huge star.
And regardless of how uncomfortable or disruptive that rapid growth might feel for some people, the evidence is simply undeniable. The receipts, as they say, are clear and overwhelming. Television networks are practically begging for the opportunity to broadcast Fever games. Opposing teams are even relocating their matchups to significantly larger venues just to accommodate the unprecedented demand for tickets. Caitlyn Clark's jersey is selling out at an astonishing rate, moving off the shelves as if it were a championship-winning piece of merchandise. Even the WNBA commissioner herself, Kathy Engelbert, had to publicly acknowledge it. Caitlyn Clark's debut brought the kind of economic power and attention the league has been desperately praying for years.
But since Caitlyn Clark has entered the league, the prevailing conversation around the WNBA has been drawing power.
Let's face it, the game is experiencing unprecedented growth, accelerating faster than ever before, and Caitlyn Clark is undoubtedly the primary catalyst, the rocket fuel behind the surge. And yes, let's be clear, veteran players absolutely deserve their recognition and praise. They are the ones who built the crucial foundation for the league. But Clark represents the next phase, the high-rise built upon that foundation. She's the one effectively drawing in a completely new demographic of fans, casual sports enthusiasts, parents with daughters who are now inspired to play, and yes, even dedicated NBA fans who are finally giving the WNBA a real opportunity and paying attention. The overall fan base is expanding significantly, and that is unequivocally a positive development for everyone involved.
One of them packed 15,000 paid fans into the arena. The other couldn't fill the lower bowl.
However, there's a significant risk. If the league permits negativity and bitterness to dominate the discussion, if resentment overshadows the immense opportunity presented, then this incredibly promising moment could easily be squandered. This is precisely what makes the drama emanating from Angel Reese's side so disheartening. Instead of leveraging this moment for positive growth and attention, they are contributing to a narrative that could ultimately alienate potential new fans. New viewers aren't looking for social media battles or manufactured controversies, they want to watch basketball. They crave excellence, and they want to see stars. Caitlyn Clark provides all three of those things. And let's not pretend there's some kind of balanced, competitive rivalry happening here. Caitlyn Clark doesn't currently have a true rival. The WNBA is clearly eager to frame it as such for the sake of drama, ratings, and attempting to build a historical narrative. But this isn't a Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird scenario. It's more akin to Michael Jordan facing off against whatever team happened to be on his schedule that week. The disparity between Clark and the rest of the league is substantial and continues to widen. She is the undeniable needle mover, the face of the league, and the primary reason why arenas are now filled with energy and excitement.
She does everything she can to keep her name in the headlines, yet for some reason, it doesn't translate to ticket sales, doesn't translate to television ratings. Angel Reese was the biggest star in Unrivaled. Hell, she was the only star in Unrivaled. No one was watching.
Despite everything, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are destined to be linked together permanently. Their memorable NCAA championship clash ensured that. And if managed correctly, this could indeed develop into the kind of rivalry that energizes the league for years to come, one that's intense, entertaining, and consistently generates headlines. However, this is only possible if the competition remains focused on the court. The coming months are absolutely crucial. Clark is already demonstrating that she's far more than just pre-draft hype. She's grounded, focused, and setting a powerful example through her actions. If the league can follow her lead, prioritizing the game itself and putting individual egos aside, the future is incredibly promising and bright.
But look at their career trajectories since then. Caitlin Clark is the only draw in the history of women's basketball. Angel Reese couldn't sell out home games at LSU, couldn't sell out home games in the WNBA in Chicago, can't fill half the arena for her homecoming celebration. Caitlin Clark doesn't beg for attention. Matter of fact, I would imagine that Caitlin Clark gets tired of the attention.
However, if the league permits off-court drama and controversies to overshadow the incredible skill and excitement on the court, if voices like Angel Reese's mother continue to dominate the narrative and grab headlines, then the WNBA is in danger of becoming its own biggest obstacle. Caitlin Clark didn't just set a new television viewership record, she completely shattered a barrier. She brought millions of new eyes to women's basketball and definitively proved that there is a vast audience eager and ready to embrace the game. Now, the responsibility lies with the league and every single player within it to determine whether they want to continue building on this unprecedented momentum or get bogged down in petty disagreements. Because one thing is absolutely undeniable, Caitlin Clark is fundamentally changing the game. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon, a ratings powerhouse, a future MVP, a generational talent. And the only question remaining is, who is prepared to grow with her? Drop a CC in the comments below. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.